So this is my new life, right? I stay up late wondering if Drake or Kendrick is going to drop. I think it's not happening tonight. I go to bed, remember I'm in the UK. I wake up every single morning. My DMs, my notifications blowing up. It's happened again. Drake, The Heart Part 6. My name is John, I react to music. You know this by now. Let's get straight into it, because he has got a lot of work to do to pull this thing back. Okay, and let me see you prove it. Bit of Aretha.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in.
Okay.
First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connect, stand up, not fall down.
The real energy here is kind of what he's been saying from the beginning, if you remember. Remember in Tailor Made, where he was talking about he has people on the inside, he knows what you're doing before you're doing it. Seemingly, it actually worked the other way around, and Kendrick knew what Drake was doing before Drake did it. But, okay, the Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. So there's insinuations in one of these tracks that Drake was a rat to the authorities. To be honest, I kind of missed that. I mean, are you surprised? A lot else has been happening. But he's saying that 1090 Jake would have taken the walls down, the streets would have had him hiding out in a small town. Okay, so all right.
My Montreal connect, stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation.
Right. So, according to Drake at least, the rumors are true that he used a mole to feed Kendrick the fake information about the 11-year-old daughter. And he did. And if what Drake's saying is true, it worked. Now, what I'm saying is that's not the important thing in all the stuff that Kendrick's been saying, but it's definitely something that made a lot of noise. And also something that is being used against Drake to call him a liar overall, among other things. Super interesting, because it was also, remember, Drake was protesting a little bit too much on IG after this happened. So you can see how this has all been set up. Now he's speaking as if he is the modern day Machiavelli at this point. That, I like this line. I'm a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. He's done this before. He's been here before. Now, this is an interesting angle, but in the back of my mind, I've got two things. I've got Metro Boomin's BBL Drizzy beat, which I can't get out of my head. So, thanks for that, Metro. And I've got the fact that, okay, even if this is a setup, do you know what? I'm going to let the song play a bit more before I get into that thought.
Thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulated, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication.
Okay, so he's saying even the picture, which has since been taken down, I believe, the Maybach glove, and the drug he uses for less inflation, which is a very complicated way of saying the weight loss drug. Master manipulator, you bit on the speculation, you dumb and reactive, I'm petty with dedication. All right, okay. I like this so far, but with the caveat, there are some other things you need to address, Mr. Graham.
The bones we dug up in that excavation, and why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild.
Ooh.
Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected.
Okay. This Epstein angle was the shit I was expected, so all right. He's going to address this shit, fine. What about the bones we dug up in the excavation? Why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Now, I spoke about this in the Not Like Us reaction. By the way, that song was amazing. Amazing. Can't get it out of my head last night. Trying to go to sleep, all I can hear is what? Oh my God, I fall asleep. Sleep for how many hours? 6 hours, something. Wake up, what? Just, it's not going anywhere. A lot of people in the comments to my Not Like Us reaction said that Kendrick addressed all these allegations of, wife beating in a 2015 interview in the Breakfast Club, and we'll play that now.
Because it's foolishness. That's the most ignorant stuff I've ever heard made up on
I was like,
on
Kendrick did that? I doubt it.
And, that person who ever made that up owes an apology. Not to me, but to women that actually go out there and get abused.
Now, I hadn't seen or heard that, to be fair, before then, and fine. But that was nearly 10 years ago, okay? So I'm not just taking that, like, in this back and forth, I mean, that wouldn't be admissible as evidence for something that's happened since. Now, I don't know if anything has happened and if Drake is just using ancient information to try and prod at him, but you've got to be open and fair as a kind of neutral observer here, right? And it's stuff, Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. And I saw this is the cover art that we have here. And these two don't follow each other, Whitney and Kendrick, which is strange. I mean, that is very strange. Like, Kendrick doesn't really follow anybody, but the fact that his missus doesn't follow him is strange. And why is she following Dave and not him? I mean, it is strange. Now, he's saying that he hasn't seen the kids for 6 months. I mean, listen, I don't know.
Need pics of the child, speaking of anything with a child. Let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive.
Okay.
They acting like
He's flipping it back on himself. Obviously, in some of these tracks, Kendrick's talking about Drake's own sort of abuse that he received when he was younger, being, neglected by his own father and this and that is created the creature, the animal, the predator that Kendrick purports that Drake is right now through this cycle. And obviously, these cycles of trauma is something that he addresses and speaks about in depth on Mr. Morale. Here, he's saying he knew he was going to do this. They've been going through some old TikTok videos, and there's a lot of fucking weird shit out there from the past with Drake. But instead of being on some disdirect shit, you'd rather grab your pen and misdirect shit. Now, I would argue that you've done the exact same thing here. By literally saying that you're misdirecting, you've not really said anything about these accusations. But this is a nice line. My mother came over today and was like, mother eye. Oh, wait a second, that's that one record. Yeah, very nice, very nice. And obviously, in Meet the Grahams, Kendrick speaks directly to Sandra, right? So, yeah, as Sandra came over to see him to talk about this stuff. And then he's figured it out in his own mind. Now, I'm just interjecting here. This is actually John from the future as you're watching this. I finished my video and I sat with it for a second. I thought I'm going to listen to Mother Eye Sober because I think maybe I glossed over that part a little bit. I've done that. I'm going to explain my thoughts properly at the end of the video because otherwise it's going to color the rest of this video. So look out for it at the end. But yeah, one, Drake is an idiot. He massively misunderstood the song. And also, he may well be an absolute piece of shit. Further thoughts at the end of the video.
you got molested. Fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. They acting
Right. Now, I like the flip. I like the performance. Oh, wait, no, I just made a whole connection. I kind of like that. I kind of like the energy, but it's like, this isn't enough, mate. The accusations are fucking intense. They're serious. Okay, so the angle here so far is you paint Kendrick as someone that you've completely tricked with the whole daughter angle, and that may well be the case. I don't know. We don't know the truth in any of this, realistically. We're just kind of forensically picking through it as we listen to it. So you paint him as a fool, basically. Not so much a liar, but a fool, a gullible idiot. And then you paint reasons why he would come up with the rest of this stuff. It's a good tactic, but I'm still like, yeah, but, we've seen a lot of videos and seen a lot of weird shit, and There's the stories of people on your team, and this does feel a little bit like you fucking grabbed your pen and you're misdirecting, right?
So excessive, they acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore, this really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted, I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message.
Okay. I mean, that's a direct denial. Okay, I actually don't mind the angle he's going down here, you know? I don't mind it. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when I woke up this morning, obviously I opened up X. I'm very careful about reading any spoilers, but the notifications are that Drake's waving a white flag here. And I've tried to come in completely clear of that thought, but that was what I woke up to see. And realistically, I don't feel like that so far. I don't feel like he's really killing Kendrick at all, but I feel like he's at least kind of addressing things and painting a picture. I don't think it's going to be enough right now. I think he might need to go back to back, but also there's half of this song left. So he's saying that the reason that Kendrick is bringing any of this stuff up is because of his own past. And I don't want to diss you anymore. It's really got me second guessing. I don't want to diss you anymore is a wild thing to say, considering how much you've been cooked over the last few days. But he's saying it as in, like, I actually feel sorry for you. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting, like insinuating that would be a trigger for him based on what happened to him in his past. And straight in, I've never been anyone underage, but now I understand why this is the angle that you really mess with. Now, you've created a fake narrative here. And remember, Drake, I'm just coming up with this stuff as it comes to me. Remember, Drake, you're spoken about on this track already about coming up with a fake narrative and how good you are at coming up with a fake narrative and how you trick the gullible Kendrick Lamar with your fake narrative. So what's this then? This is the truth? I mean, you've told me and the millions to not take you at face value in this exact song mere seconds ago. And now you're painting a new narrative and you're saying, oh, but this time, trust me, it's an interesting narrative. You are directly addressing what he says. But it's a bit all over the place, isn't it? I mean, if I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. Is like, what? I mean, there's a pretty long history of very famous people doing some very dark shit and not being arrested. You know?
I feel disgusted, I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson.
I mean, he says I'm disgusted, but like, if somebody was accusing me of this, I would be like, it wouldn't be, oh, if I was doing this, I'd have been arrested. So I'm definitely not doing it. I'd be like, how fucking dare you even insinuate this? Like, it would just be a full-on assault backwards. It wouldn't be, well, if I was doing it, I'd have been arrested, right?
Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment, the shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not.
So again, he's going back in at the Dave Free angle. Problem is, he's painting himself as a liar as well. Kendrick painting him as a liar, so who knows? But this is the angle that he's going with, right? Dave slept with Whitney, got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Brilliant line. Not too sure how to ease the sentiment. I'm praying you recover from both incidents. The abuse from earlier and this. But you're a piece of shit, he says. So this isn't a coincidence because you're a piece of shit and these things will come to you.
Both incidents, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it.
Nice little reference back to the Easy sample from all the way back on Like That. That feels like years ago now.
You mentioned in A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it.
You mentioned in A minor, which is a brilliant line in Not Like Us, but got a B sharp. Also notice in the production there, an A minor on the keys and a B sharp gets played.
You mentioned in A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it.
Fans gotta be sharp and tell the fans. Sorry, but people gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it.
But you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screen.
Do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia, obviously the plane that went down and went missing. Now, slick lines about the different notes, the B flat, the A minor, the D flat, the D major, but it doesn't really say anything, does it? Again, keep going. I'm kind of torn on this one, you know. I'm torn on this one. I think it's an interesting track. I think Kendrick has been running away with it, to be honest, after Meet the Grahams and Not Like Us, running away with it. As good as Family Matters was, I just think it was moving into wash territory. This is something. I will say this is something.
A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager.
That's a fucking bar. Only fucking with Whitney's. So obviously Kendrick's missus is Whitney Houston, not Millie Bobby Brown's. Obviously, the message from Drake to Millie Bobby Brown, very infamous, but Bobby Brown, obviously being Whitney's husband, that never looked twice at a teenager.
I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you gonna need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't wanna fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature.
Okay, so is he saying I'm done? Now I can see why people are saying the white flag. Because he's saying I'm done here. I don't want to do this no more. You might not have a choice, sir. You might not have a choice. Okay, so he's I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Right? Bullets I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass is in extreme danger. Okay, still fighting talk. So stop buying views and bot comments. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Drake's been paying for bots over the years in the Pusha T stuff and this, but okay. Might as well keep the paper, keep the money. You're about to need that for later. He doesn't give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. And he's like, I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. It's just saying, I'm kind of done. Yeah, maybe I'll see you again when we're dead. When you're dead.
If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon, no wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor.
Okay, so he's saying that all of this is happening because Kendrick's got an album dropping soon. To be honest, I think if Kendrick has an album dropping soon, that's enough on its own. Maybe in this world of extreme monetization and this person being this much higher than this person, but them being so much higher than all regular people, it matters to them. But like, if Kendrick's dropping an album, he doesn't need to do this. I think I've said this, he wants Drake to die. Like, he wants him to die. Seriously. Like, he fucking hates him. He thinks he is the scum of the earth. And he wants him to die. Now, whether that means he's in the ground, or whether that means that Drake, as opposed to Aubrey Graham, is dead. Like, there is no more. He can have nothing. Because of what he is and what he does. This is what I believe Kendrick wants. I don't think he's doing all this for an album rollout. Based on, doesn't need to, and based on his character that he's proven and shown to us for many years. 12 years, he says he's been in the industry.
Chase instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise.
Okay. Listen, he's sort of saying I don't want to do this no more, but also like, and Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit you back, it's a lot safer. It's like, yeah. The more this goes on, the less impressed I am by it. Honestly, because you come with evidence, you've come with tricks, you've come with strategies, and you've come with stories, which are all interesting and add more layers to this incredible beef that really is all time, era defining, and perhaps the greatest of all time. Literally, I mean, certainly the most savage that I've ever heard. But now you're like saying, I'm done with this anymore, but you're still jabbing. It's like someone in an argument going, like, okay, we're done, but still jabbing. Like, you're still jabbing at him. What do you want? Do you want to keep going or not? I'm going to keep going.
I'm not going to lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but
blogger? Is it bloggers? Why do people say blogger anymore? Maybe it just sounds good. Who the fuck's blogging anymore? Anyway, he's leaving, right? I'm not going to get a lie to shit with some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get a pen working. You'd be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't lying to every blogger and editor. I think he's just putting music out there and we're covering it. And, all respect to the written word, I'm a writer at core. But, I mean, it's the reactions that are driving this. It's the music that's driving this, to be honest. There's a whole conversation around it that's driving it. Social, written, video, everything, actually. So he's saying, well, this isn't really a competition because the shit that you're saying just isn't true. So, like, what we're doing here, which is fine. I still think Kendrick can just keep prodding at that. And there's another level of evidence, perhaps. If Kendrick can drop, then it's done. But I still don't think it's enough coming back. It's like you kind of like address some shit. I don't think anybody cares about the fact that he faked the daughter. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm misreading the situation here. Maybe it's because to me, that, while interesting, is just almost entirely irrelevant. Okay, it doesn't, it kind of questions his character, but like nowhere near as much as he's a fucking sex predator.
It is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit. But, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you, bring you back to the game. Like,
you should have left this bit out, mate. You should have left this bit out. This sucks.
Facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor, like.
Sure you want to say that? This is such a mixed bag of a record. I feel actually it started pretty well. I feel like the first half of this was pretty good. Addressed some shit, did it in a slick way. Obviously brought up the whole twist as well that had been reported. And that is interesting and it's kind of a cool angle. Planted the mole. And maybe that's true. And that's kind of what we're like. That's kind of mad that he got him. But I don't know. Like, Kendrick's just gone too far in a direction that's not that. If he'd backed up Meet the Grahams with another track about the daughter, then he'd be in bits. But it's almost like a fighter going in with a strategy. It's like, I'm going to wait for him to throw a shot, and then I'm going to duck under and take him down. And then when I'm down, I'm going to get to side control, and then I'm going to start working the arm, maybe drop some. And then you get into the fight, and you duck the first shot, but then he just throws up with 5 more, knocks you down, and you're just in bits on the floor, and your whole game plan's gone to shit. And then maybe you survive the round, and you having a chat with your corner, and that's what this is. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, we meant this to happen. Yeah, no, it didn't work, so, I'm still here. Yeah, kinda. Like, first half, good. Second half, still some good lines. The Rick Ross line is slick. The Millie Bobby Brown line is super slick. But then he starts like easing off, just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. Like, I've beaten you. And everyone in the world is like, no, you haven't, mate. You haven't. So what are you talking about? But even then, if you ended it with the Whitney line, you'd be like, okay, there's some fire there. It's not over because like you're saying it's over, but you're still jabbing. You're still throwing crosses. You're still prodding, right? And by the way, the majority of people in my experience of what people have been saying in my comments and online is that nobody even believes any of this stuff that you're saying about him anyway. Whereas people believe the stuff that Kendrick is saying about you. So there is also like the narrative will be decided by the people in this case. Okay, as promised, here's the thoughts at the end of the video that you only get one shot at a reaction, right? So that's that. But I went and listened to Mother I Sober again. I haven't listened to it properly for ages, like at least over a year. And I kind of, in the whole midst of the idea of that being a flip, what Drake did, a flip of what Kendrick did, sort of looking at his past trauma and saying that's why this is happening. I kind of missed the point that one, Kendrick repeatedly says in that track that he didn't get abused. His comments are probably already full of this, right? But I'm just acknowledging it as I'm acknowledging it. That, the accusation was that his cousin had done it, but Kendrick repeatedly says that he didn't, but he felt this guilt regardless of that happening. And then it turns out that what had happened is his mother had been violated in Chicago, and she was so worried that it had happened to Kendrick, she sort of like they almost forced the reality upon him, even as a young child, and he dealt with all this incredible and guilt, and then it becomes this thing that's broader and more generational. So there's that for starters, that Drake seemingly has completely misunderstood the song. But also, I mean, you go and listen to that song, right? It's unbelievably powerful and beautiful and haunting and troubling and, not, you know, Drake is effectively like, in wildly misinterpreting it, he is by proxy, then the only way I can interpret it is he is now making light and making fun of survivors. And that is not even going as far to say that he could be creating those survivors himself. Now, I'm not including that part because we don't know about that part. That's Kendrick's accusations, okay? So we can just like pass that one away, put that one away for a second. But the reality is, in what he says in this flip, and it's my mistake for getting so into the idea of the flip, and yeah, I was like, did that happen to Kendrick? I couldn't quite remember the song. Probably should have listened to it in the middle, but never mind. Let's check what Drake says again. My mum came over today and was like, mother. Oh, wait a second, that's that one record where you say you got molested. Well, no, it's not. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. It's about to get so depressing. It is, but in a different way. This is trauma from your own confessions. Think about what you're saying, mate. Think about what you're saying here. One, you've got this wrong. And two, like, it's not very nice, is it? Victim blaming? Even though he's not the victim, but others are. Even within the context of the song. This is why these paedophile raps is shit you're so obsessed with. I mean, I can understand why he's saying that, given that what Kendrick speaks about in that track and overall, but like, I mean, he's accusing him of something that didn't even happen and completely wildly misinterpreting a song that is more powerful and more affecting than anything that Drake could ever put together on any of his songs. And Drake isn't that type of artist, right? But I just think there's a callousness now and a cruelty to this part of the song that is not aimed at Kendrick. It's aimed at everybody else that's ever been a survivor of this stuff. And then, like I say, if we're going to bring back the stuff that I boxed away, that I passed it away, you know, if he is the person that's doing what Kendrick is saying, then he's creating these individuals as well that he's laughing at. But again, we can box that back away because that part we don't know is true. But what we do know is true, that there are many, many, many people, including people in Kendrick's own family, including his mother, who have experienced this and do experience this. And Drake is making light of them here, in my opinion. And I think doing so doubly and triply by misinterpreting the song. So I'm very glad that I got my thoughts across properly here. This is the danger of doing a first listen. You know, I'm listening to this, I'm trying to pay as much attention as possible. And to be honest, I fucking missed the actual thing that he said. And I'm so glad that I went back. So I'm sure my comments are full anyway, but I think this is perhaps a crushing L for Drake at this point. The centerpiece, apart from the Machiavellian bringing the daughter stuff up, which he thinks is the centerpiece, but it's not. People don't really care, which is wild. The centerpiece of this song is something that you've got incredibly wrong, which is hilarious, seeing as earlier on, but you so thirsty, you're not concerned with investigation. You got to learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Like, fucking hell, man, you completely ruined yourself. Kendrick doesn't even need to respond to this, but he should. He should with a fucking dagger. With a dagger. Yeah, man. What a fucking disaster class. What an absolute disaster class from Drake. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is an interesting one for sure. But to me, Kendrick, if this is the last one from Drake, Kendrick's already won, and I'm sure he will victory lap, he will dance on the grave. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're all the way here and you made it to this part of the beef and you're not subscribed yet, listen, we'd love to have you on the team. We've been doing this for years and it has never been crazier than this. I'll see you all soon, right? Peace.